Hey, what's going down? It's your boy James Brown coming to you with Musical Living TV. Today we're gonna have my boy K-Rob coming on all the way from Dallas, Texas. Man, this guy's a dope, humble, down-to-earth cat, man. He's currently the music director for Trip Lee. He's played for Chrisette Michele. He's done award shows, man, and the list goes on. But tonight we're gonna have him coming on, man, talking about the music industry and a lot of different tips on that. Hey, man, let's get into it. Musical Living TV, James Brown, let's go. Had to get my guy K-Rob on here, man. We go.
What's up?
Yeah, man, we go way back, bro. So, yeah, man. Bro, you didn't travel, you know what I'm saying? You didn't travel the world playing music and, you know what I'm saying, doing it full time for a long time. So I had to get an expert on here, man. They say you're an expert if you got at least 10,000 hours.
I don't know about all that.
No, you got 10,000 hours. So, yeah, man, real quick, you know, give me a rundown where you from and what you do.
Okay. Yeah, as you said, King Robinson Jr. I'm originally from a small town north of Houston called Cleveland, Texas. Around about junior years, yeah, my dad relocated. We moved to Tyler, lived there for the duration of my high school years, about a year and a half, and I wanted to move to Dallas. The music scene was a thing. Actually, my brother was playing a lot in Tyler, and I didn't play a lot in Tyler. I was at the crib shedding. We lived in an area where we could play. Nobody hear us. Only 3 people lived on our road. My grandmother had a bunch of land, and my daddy had a portion of it. So our house was literally in the woods. And so while I was in Tyler, I literally just practiced, and I would only come out here and there. And so my brother got me to come out play this particular thing. His church wanted us to move to Dallas when he graduated high school, and that's exactly what we did. And the rest is history. I mean, I moved up here, met a lot of cool people. Started, you were one of them, man. Met you at a shed, and I know we got family members who are known each other, so
Man, we family, bro.
Yeah, basically, man. And so
you cuz.
Right, cousins, and so I moved up here, met a lot of cool people, and literally started like traveling and touring and playing for a bunch of artists. But I can also say, I'll go back a little, my parents were instrumental in like getting this going, man. My parents sometimes used to pick us up on the weekend out of school, get us out early on Friday. And we would go travel to another city or state, and they would be traveling to take me and my brother there to play. Man, we was mainly only playing church at the time, church conferences and stuff like that. And so So like we were low key, you know, tapping into something even at a young age. And I definitely credit my parents, man, even before, you know, we knew that what shedding was. Me and my brother, that my daddy used to take us to Good Talk Center. My mom would sit there, he would go run errands. We would play on the drums and he'd come back and man, our heart would be content, you know. So it was already something that was being instilled, not knowing that it would literally turn into a lifelong career. And
Right.
you know, I've had the privilege to play with some pretty cool people and do some pretty cool things, and just grateful, man. I've literally been touring since I was 18 as an adult touring. Did playing professionally way before then. I think I played my first live recording. I was like 15. So, and God's been gracious, man. I'm so grateful to God for my gift, and I continue to try to push the envelope and work hard in any way I can.
Dope. So y'all pretty much had a training ground, bro, as kids. You know what I'm saying? That's a training ground. Your parents, like, they really tap into it and say, man, I see this guy, my son, he got something. So that y'all pretty much had a training ground, bro, to groom y'all into what y'all are, man. That's real dope, man. A lot of parents don't tap into it that early. They might be like, well, I see him doing this, I see him doing that, but they don't tap in, man. So that's real dope for your
Man,
parents.
actually, to be honest, they tapped in as early as 4 years old. I'll go back a little further. It was my grandparents, my mom's parents. Excuse my allergies, man. But my mom's parents, they she used to let us beat on her pots and pans in her kitchen, and couldn't nobody tell us to be quiet. Like, you know, they couldn't make noise, but me and my brother, you know, me and King Jr. and Michael Sean, they could make noise. We could play on our grand, and then we transitioned there. And we got older to her flower pots. You know, they little black flower pots, and we would
Yep.
stack them to make each of them like the snare. The hi hat would be a little taller, and we had toms, and we had cymbals.
So y'all
And
was playing church.
no, me and Mike was just we weren't playing church. We was just playing drums. Because
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
I know the world knows my brother to be a great keyboard player and producer, but his first instrument was drums. He didn't
Right.
learn keys till he was 13. So we used to literally go and for hours and search for sticks off of branches. They had to be straight. They had to be, well, they had to match as close as we could and do after school, after homework. My parents and them be at work. We be at my grandmother's house because we live right across the street.
Right.
And we eat a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And from there, it's a wrap, man, until it got dark or until it was time, come in and get ready for school. And then the summertime was even worse. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so really, it started it started that young, man. My parents were bought us our first drum set maybe when we was like 4 or 5,
Yeah.
and that's all we did, bro. We ate, slept, and drank music, bro. I mean, literally. And what's funny is my dad was a 3 sport athlete, so we had that part in us too. You know, I know people up here go to like performing arts high school. I didn't have that privilege, but actually, me and my brother are like we were well-known athletes at back home too. So
Right.
like that's what my dad was doing. He was instilling in us athletics because it was there, but also he was pushing the music. So man, like it was almost like a you got a two-way street, and you just pick whichever one. You know, if both work, great. But
Right.
you know, it came to a point I just kind of chose music because I'm not 6'7", so
So, oh, that's crazy. So you had the music thing, you had your dad, you know what I'm saying, pushing the basketball. Like, what made you say, man, you know what? I'm gonna take this music route. You know what I'm saying? I think this is what I want to do.
um, man, what's funny was my dad pushed all three: football, basketball, and track. And what's crazy is he would even coach us better than some of the coaches. So when I would go to track meets, he would come and sit inside the football field and like prep me, talk me through these things, bro. And so what's crazy is I think my dad instilled a level of determination. And I think once I got to an age where I seen music was something that it didn't matter about my height, I didn't have people saying, "Oh, well, maybe you're too small," and or maybe you need to get in the gym and put on this many pounds and this. And then I had a live recording happening, like the way people gravitated towards me musically when I got older started looking a whole lot different than the way people gravitated towards me when I played sports when I was young. Because I've always, been, pretty good. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but um, and it's mainly because of determination. And so I use that same energy within music, bro. Like determined, and like my dad would literally like push us in any kind of way. What we thought was cool, he may be like, that's not tight. And actually, man, like my dad was like our first artist. He's an evangelist. We would play with him, and when we would do stupid stuff, dude, he would get on us.
Right.
Like, yeah, like, and it didn't matter if we was just playing the same song because he's praying for 50 people and we're playing the same song for 45 minutes. Don't do nothing stupid. Don't mess up my flow. I'm in the spirit. I'm in the Holy Ghost. Don't mess up my flow. Like, so, the whole determination, the understanding, the discipline, it transferred. And once I seen it transfer musically, even from sports, man, I was like, oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna do this music thing. Like, and also I had other people that I had met, was like, yeah, people can make amazing money music, doing music for a living. You just gotta, it's like everything else. I mean, if I played an athlete and I got cut after 2 years, I got to figure out how I'm gonna keep making that kind of money because I don't think it would be in my best interest to maybe try to go work for UPS if I'm used to that kind of money. I'm not saying I'm too good for it, but if I want to kind of keep up a certain thing, then like I'm gonna try to have to keep pushing the envelope or find other ways to creatively keep that kind of revenue coming,
Right.
however it may be.
Right. So with that being said, how important is it with building certain relationships? Because you said meet certain people, you got to meet the people. So you transferred the discipline from sports with your dad pushing you with that to music, which you need discipline as a musician. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to have it. So with that discipline, and then it turns into you playing music and traveling, then you meeting all these different people. You know what I'm saying? Like how does that translate to where you are in your music career and how that works out within music?
Uh, Good question. First of all, I would credit my parents for instilling a understanding of being buttoned up all the time. Like, and that's across the spectrum, from learning music to knowing music to presentation to looking a certain way. I may not spend money on everything, but I'm getting a haircut every week.
Yep.
I'm doing that kind of stuff because those kind of presentations sometimes can lead to the next big situation. And to be honest, I'm actually not the best people's person. I'm cordial. I know how to turn it on, but like if I'm cool with being a hermit at the crib and give me some studio speakers, a computer, and a drum set, I'm practicing bass, give me all that.
Yeah.
I'll just come out when need be and I can stay there, but that's not how the world works or my profession works. So what I do is turn it on, man. It's so uncomfortable, but I turn it on in order to create these situations that can literally help me propel in whatever way I can. And well, some of the relationships came from me just being what some people said, a stand-up guy. A guy hit me for a gig and was like, bro, I'm calling you for the gig because I've been watching you from social media. You've been taking care of your son. I see you go back and forth. And so, dude, I want to put you on this gig. Literally, bro. He was like, man, I see you play. We met. I'm not worried about that. He was like, bro, I do the same thing. And so I know that this gig will be good because they're always having a problem with certain upstanding people doing things a certain way.
Right.
And, here we are. So relationships are everything, man. And when I was younger, I had a bad habit of thinking that it would just be my gift and my talent. And I think
Right.
that was just because I had a maybe too reliable on just what I thought would work because it worked once or twice or three times. And then as I got older, I started learning, no, it needs to be a conglomerate of relationships, a conglomerate of like nailing stuff, a conglomerate of having gear, a conglomerate of having a car,
Right.
conglomerate of having a passport, being able to send the right emails, knowing how to do a rider, knowing how, once I became an MD of a situation, like knowing how to like put all of this stuff together. How do I do a stage plot? Like how to,
Okay.
talking to
Real
production.
quick. So for the people that don't know, what's a writer?
So a rider, RIDER, is basically what you're requiring for a show. So most of the time when you're not doing a tour, like busing city to city, and you're doing what they kind of call as one-off, most of the time, uh, budget wise, between everything, there's enough money that's allotted for the band to have gear to play the show. Because if I'm flying to Minnesota, who's bringing drums?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's bringing drums on a flight that I'm flying there Friday and I'm coming back Saturday? So a writer is when they have a company called a backline company. They provide gear, and it's usually paid through however that, whoever does the show. There's a balance, whatever is paid, and so your writer pretty much tells the people what to bring you.
Yeah.
And sometimes if they don't have it, they're usually providing the closest thing comparable to what you're asking for. So yeah, rider goes for instruments. It goes for, if you want salted peanuts on the stage when you're performing, if you want, root beer in the room before you, cold root beer room to, rider, it can be more than instruments. It's pretty much just the things that you need to make your experience be whatever, uh, like top notch experience.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, like you've been in a situation where you was MD, like music director, right?
Yeah.
So you get the riders, you do all that. What all comes with being a music director? You know what I'm saying? Like most people think is, hey, call the numbers, hey, make sure they learn their music. But what all goes into being a music director?
Uh, Shameless plug. I definitely want to shout out first and foremost my brother, even though he's my younger brother. When we were younger, when he started playing keys, I definitely just I stuck to drums. But the older we got and I seen he started doing a lot of things, man, I learned a lot. Like I learned how to work DAWs, and DAWs are pretty much Pro Tools, Ableton. That's what most people use on the road. Ableton,
Right.
Pro Tools, Logic, Reason. I mean, it's a litany of things out there. Fruity Loops, FL Studio. That's a DAW. So most DAWs kind of work the same, but they have their own knickknacks to them. And I learned that. I started getting an understanding of numbers a little bit, being able to hear and understand things. And so, as a music director, man, you basically got to know everybody's part. You should. I'm not saying you have to, but I would like to say you should. So I'm MD for Trip Lee, and it's a hip hop gig. And so for me, like I'm making sure if we're doing a tour, uh, like I'm sound after a couple shows, I'm sound checking Trip's ears the whole tour. I'm gonna sound check his ears, and so I got to get good at that because I'm usually sound checking without playing drums. So sometimes I'll sound check with his ears on the drums because it's just me and
Huh.
the other players. So I sound check his ears. We'll do a sound check, make sure all of the I'm running Ableton from my station. Um, so making sure all of that stuff works, man, and like doing the knickknacks and all of that. And I know all of the. I got one guy that plays with me. His name is Deshaun. He lives in Atlanta. He's from New York. Great singer, uh, guitar player, bass player, key player. He sings, plays guitar, and plays keys on the gig.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, dude is dope. And so, but you know what? I literally know every part he's going to play. He's supposed to play. I know every hit that we make up, and we've made up stuff, and even if you get it or stuff that I've came up with, and I'm like running it all and just kind of making the whole ship go. And even with flights, I make sure. He gets his flight information. And whenever he needs something, he asks me, and then I communicate it. You know, all of those things, man. I like just trying to make sure the whole ship. And you know, as far as Trip, I also get with him and we work out arrangements, understandings, and like doing a lot of stuff with Trip, man. Like if you're not good on your Ableton, you'll lose on the gig just because like he'll be like, man, can we just do one verse tonight? It's like, all right, cool. How am I gonna edit one verse and take out the second verse and the bridge, you
Right.
know, 3 hours for the gig? My friend Deshaun said, bro, I don't envy you because you're always on the computer when we're doing shows. But it's cool, man, because it teaches me how to function fast, how to function in the midst of a bunch of cloudiness, how to like keep my discipline up, keep my mind sharp. And then it also helps me to be able to play and kind of direct. Like I'm on the talk back and playing. All right,
Right.
here we go, boom. You know what I'm saying? Remember them hits, and then we're going one. You know, and some
Yeah.
of the stuff is in there. I don't always have to say it, but I mean, we ain't played the show in a year. If we showed up and played the show without rehearsal, then it's gonna be up to me to like save everybody.
Right.
And you know, so you know that's the thing, man. You know, like we were saying earlier, having the plots and knowing what to use when I get there, and we're not using our sound man. So I gotta talk with the sound man, give him an understanding of how we're looking for front of house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the cool thing about it is Trip is musically inclined, so sometimes I'll start and listen, and then he'll go out and listen because I can't. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. So we've worked it out, but that's stuff that just happens over time. And being a music director, I'm usually having to foresee all of that. And I think the MD role changes from gig to gig because you may be on a high level gig and you may have a lot of personnel in place. So you just kind
Oh,
of delegate power. And
right.
this situation is like real small as far as the personnel. We playing huge gigs, but the personnel be small. So I do a lot of groundwork, which is fine, man. Actually, that kind of stuff for me like keeps my wheels turning, keeps me sharp, and helps me learn a lot of stuff, man. I can't say I'm a sound man, but I got an idea of like certain things to ask for. Like, you know, some people don't know what to ask for. Oh, what's that high noise? Oh, well, you know, that may be a 4K or this, that, and the third, you know.
Right.
Um, excuse me. So just being a music director, I think it's just kind of being able to kind of, you know, be the captain of the team and be responsible for everything. So, and when things happen that go wrong, man, you know, that's me. Even if it ain't me, I'll take the blame and then I'll figure out, but I'll take the blame so that I can figure out a way that it don't happen again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it don't even be me. And I'll still be like, man, all right, I'll figure it out. Trip be like, no,
Right.
you could. I'll be like, no, I've got to figure it out. So, you know, and I'm not doing that to be like, oh, well, I feel like somebody's gonna take my job, but that's a good way to keep job security is being fail safe, you know, fail proof. So
Mm. Yeah. Everybody don't talk about that.
so another way that works for me is like on Trip's gig, we use a voice vocoder. It's called Voice Live, Voice Touch,
Hmm.
and that serves as his auto tune. Because when we do one offs, like we're trying to be fail proof. We, you know, if we don't always travel with a sound man lately, so like we got this system, man. Good friend Jacob Biz Morris, who does engineering for Reach Records, he kind of set it up. But after he set it up, I had to learn how to rework it because we started getting new songs and stuff. So I went to, you know, looked up stuff, went to old settings, but I take it at the crib. I may take out a whole day and I may play through. I play through the whole show, just me and the computer. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
me sitting at the computer, making sure everything is lined up, hidden, you know, all of that. And I bounce it down and I send it again and be like, all right, here's another, you know, rundown of the show for, you know, this coming up. And, you
Right.
know, when it's a tour, how long is the show? All right, it's 17 minutes. And then Trip just give me the rundown where I want to talk here. I want to do this. I want to do this. So cool. Make it 17 minutes. All right, cool. Well, how do I set up my talk time? I got some talk music and then fade right into it and setting up the cues and all that. So, man, actually, I'm sitting up here like having to piece together his ideas and then arrangements. I come to him, I just think of arrangements and I come to him and he be like, ooh, and I've made some arrangements that have like went over well. So I've tried to make sure that I'm being less than a drummer and more of a musician. And yeah, don't let nobody tell you a drummer can't be a music director, man. I play enough keys, not live, studio to come up with an idea. And if not, I could always go to my brother. He can help me get an understanding. We can
Right.
present it and boom. But in the situation, I know enough keyboard sense to like talk about stuff I need to do. You
Yes,
know,
sir. Yeah, I think that's a myth, man, that drummers don't typically be, music directors, man, because it's traditionally it just hasn't been done. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? We in 2021 now, bro. Like, things are different now.
Yeah,
So
totally agree, man. It's a lot of dope drummers out there that are music directors who have been a lot of inspiration. And so, and I'm just trying to push that envelope as much as I can, to be in that world, and hopefully it could be for even bigger artists, down the line, man.
right.
And I think another reason to go back to get into the reason why I pushed for music is, I know LeBron is pushing the envelope and he's playing basketball for 18 years, but bro, when I'm 53, I may be slapping the drums harder than I am now at 35. Bro, I'm just telling you, man, I've seen a clip of Jojo Mayer playing some kind
Oh
of drum
yeah.
thing at 52.
Yes, sir.
Man, that dude hurt my feelings.
Yeah, hey, even Dennis, bro. Dennis killing too still.
Bro, Dennis got sick, deathly sick, and come back and is slapping the drums. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but now I know that they can make a lot of money fast, so that may be the trade-off. But that was one of my things. I was like, man, I could do this forever. Like
Right.
I don't have to worry about having knee surgery or tearing the ACL. I mean, I could still do it playing drums, but you know what I mean. Like sports injuries, I've had sports injuries when I was young. Some things can like take you out,
Right.
and for a person like tall cats, man, they may have back problems all their life. Well, as long as I sit up straight when I play, my back been doing me good. So
Yes, sir.
that was another reason I kind of pushed the music envelope as well.
Dope. Hey, you mentioned something. You said they can make a lot of money fast.
Okay.
So as a musician, and especially a touring musician, you can make money fast, bro. Like it's quick money. So as we know in music, you have your up times, you got your down times. How do you manage your money? You know what I'm saying? How do you know what to do with your money if you're making money so fast? You can buy what you want here, you can, do whatever. How you manage your money as a musician, touring musician, making money so fast, bro?
I'm glad you asked. That's a good question. A lot of people have asked that. I have analogies is my thing. So my analogy is like, first instance, use a person who does taxes for a living full time. January through April, they make 100K.
Yeah.
Now, May to December, they may make 20. So you made 120 in a year, not 100 and not 100K in 4 months. And so you have to be good in understanding that with that 100K, you need to be thinking, all right, cool, I'm on a $6,000-7,000 a month budget, even though you got $100,000 sitting up within the first 4 months. And that's kind of the same approach that I kind of took with touring. Man, I could go do a tour, and I mean, we can make some good money. And let's just use a number. Let's say I make $3,000 a week, and I go do a 3-month tour. So 3 months, that's usually what, 4, 8, 12 weeks. Let's not
Mhm.
count a fifth week. Let's just make it easy math. 12 weeks, 12 times 3 is 36. So $36,000. And then let's throw in rehearsal, month of rehearsal. So another 12,000, right? So with
Right.
$48,000 in 4 months. Sounds good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, when I go back home and I may have a church gig and I'm doing some session work and this, that, and the third, you know, I may be making $600-700 a week at church. So it ain't the 3 grand. So a person like me, like I'm before I get there, I'm a little money person. Like I'm already figuring out, all right, if I'm making 3 grand a week after I pay my bills, pay my tithes, take care of the stuff I need to, like what's left over. Let's say it's a 1,500 left over.
Right.
Cool. Well, I'm doing 1,000 here, 250 here, and then 250 may be my little play money. So
Right.
I get 250 a week is play money. And if you want to be smart, most time we get per diem. That could be your play money if they feeding you every night.
Hmm.
It's all about figuring out how it works for you. But for me, I have a son, and so also he's about to be 17. So I mean, basically, since I've been an adult, I've had him. So I've thought about that stuff too. And it's like, okay, school clothes, spring break, Christmas, incidentals. Oh, you want to play basketball? These kind of things. And so it's like needing to have money and also being able, to make those monthly contributions. So just man, you can make fast money, and I know people who probably make more than 3,000. That was just a cool number to use, but
Right.
like, man, the money can be fast, man, but you got to learn how to let it even out because there is like up and down times. Even if you're always working, the difference is like if you may work a job that you say, all right, I work this one job, I make 120 a year, so I know what comes in every month. Well, as a musician, we may have 100 different jobs in a year, and
Right.
all of those pays may be different. Well, I guarantee you they're all going to be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are. And so, as you may have one W-2, I may have 25 1099s or 25 W-2s from a bunch of different artists. So I got to be good at working out how my finances best fit my life. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, you just got to be smart about it. How to put yourself in a situation that you're not looking like the musician who can't afford to have a car, take care of yourself, and do those things all behind your profession. Because I don't think a 9 to 5 is bad, but if you're out here doing it full time and you're making, $100,000 a year and you don't necessarily have anything to show for it, like
Right.
you're being a bad manager of your money because
Exactly.
it's coming in so fast that you're spending it as fast as it's coming in.
Right.
And yeah, man, I've seen too many. I was broke once when I was young, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to be that
No,
ever again.
sir. Yeah. Dope, man. Yeah, bro. A lot of people don't think about the money management part, man. And like I tell everybody, how you do anything is how you do everything, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, okay.
So, hey, we managers of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta manage according, and you gotta meet your lifestyle and meet according to how you would want to have things done in your life. So it is, personal preference, but
Right.
the key is balance. You know what I'm saying? Balance and making sure that you managing your money properly. So
Yeah.
definitely, man. Hey, checking account, savings account, gotta have it.
Yeah.
Things like that, the basics. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, that's good stuff, bro.
Yeah, and also I would say you leave room in that money, to buy invest in gear or something that'll pay you back. If you
Yes, sir.
buy a drum kit, that way you got one to go to the crib or somebody record. I got a recording kit, I got a gigging kit, I got some kits that sit up when people want special songs. I need to, trigger some of this stuff, and it's all over time. And I didn't buy it all at once. And I'm not
Right.
saying that blah 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 this that and the third. No, take your time, but I don't buy a pair of Jordans every time they come out. Now, I'm not saying I don't reward myself, and I'm not a person who splurges. And I'm a, but sometimes instead of buying that $200 or Jordans, two pairs of Jordans, you give me a snare that after one session I've already got them Jordans back.
Exactly. See,
You know?
you tapping in on something because most people don't look at an instrument as an asset.
Oh
You know
man!
what I'm
Listen,
saying?
Listen, if
Most people, they
somebody,
don't understand the difference between a liability and an asset. A liability takes money out your pocket. An asset put money in your pocket, bro. If you buy the drums, snare, whatever, it puts money in your pocket, bro. It's not
yeah,
taking money out.
absolutely. If you want to rob me, don't come for my money. Try to. I mean, they're not gonna find my gear because it's in places that you least expect it.
Yeah,
If you want to take something, take my gear, bro. I got like 6 kits, uh, you know, and a bunch of snares to go with it,
right.
and a lot of everything, man. I got all this stuff because that's what pays me. So like I need people to understand like what if somebody called me and I've done stuff here at like local shows where I had to have the whole tour set up.
Yep.
So what do I do? Go bar it? A bar against the money I'm gonna make. So if they're gonna pay me, what I'm saying, 4,500 for the week, and then I gotta go rent a kit, and that gets expensive because now I'm talking, I had a kit, we talking 8, 10, 12 with 5 toms, 2 snares, some triggers, a pad, 8, 9 cymbals, the cymbal stands, all of this. Like, so who gonna, man, that gets expensive, man. Let me tell you, like a drum set, rental equipment, that would easily be, it could easily be by 5,000. So you just zeroed out. But if over time you've bought that stuff here and there, then it's no problem when that stuff actually you can't get ready. You got to just be ready, and be ready sometimes is making decisions prior to leading up to a point that you don't even know when it's gonna come. But I think and I'm a believer, so I think in good faith, if you're making provisions to get to those points, I think like whenever you get there, that's actually when God will like let it actually drop.
Right.
If you see you making those provisions. Now I'm not saying that you won't have something that catch you by surprise, and it actually may be a good surprise, but if you're making good deposits to actually get to those kind of points, I don't think they'll just keep passing you by, especially if you're putting in the work.
Right. Yeah, I agree. And you hit on something where it take time, bro. It's patience. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be persistent, not just this, now we in the microwave world, bro. Everybody want things quick. I want it now. You know what I'm saying? No. Save your money, bro. Save your money. You know what I'm saying? 100 here, 100 there. Next thing you know, you got enough money to buy this DW kit that you want. Catch it on sale. You know what I'm saying? Go get it on Sweetwater. But you got to be strategic, have a plan, and know what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And it just take time. Don't rush nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because it teaches you a lot when you have patience, man. It teaches you how to manage yourself better as an individual. So, bro, we didn't talked about management on pretty much everything. So, hey, I'm gonna ask you about something that a lot of us don't talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about music, we talk about, what I'm saying, being dope on drums, being dope on the instrument, being an MD. But bro, with you traveling, being an MD, having to put together shows, it takes a lot of your time. You know what I'm saying? How do you manage to take care of your body, bro? Eat properly, things like that. How are you doing that?
The same as anything else, man. Pretty much having the mindset to do it. It's really about being intentional. You know, that's the thing. I feel like that's a life asset people have to have is intentionality. Because if you're intentional about it, you usually run into it, or it'll usually happen. I mean, if you're intentional about getting this girl, yeah, you know it. I mean, hey, and if she don't work, you're gonna be intentional about the next one because you may see companionship or whatever. So it's the same way. Um, like everything in moderation, man. I try to eat healthy. I've grown to learn about health and wellness, man. I take supplements for not because I'm sick, not sick by any stretch of the imagination, thank God. But I take supplements for wellness. So I take like black seed oil, fish oil, like omega. Um, I I have an iron deficiency that runs in my family, and so I take iron to help that. And I really need that because that can make my bones ache. So like I gotta stay on top of taking my iron, or it can like really get me tired for low iron, give me headaches and stuff like that. So, um, vitamin E, vitamin D, um, turmeric. Am I missing something? Um, take ACV, the apple cider vinegar. Now they got the gummies, that
Right.
kind of stuff. And then, like as far as I'm not a pescatarian. I eat meat, but it's mainly the fish, chicken, turkey. Red meat occasionally,
Right.
3, 4 times a year. Maybe if a little more than that sometimes if we're in a lot of celebratory moods and we go to steakhouses, then But we're not eating cheap steaks, and that's the
Yeah.
difference. Sometimes uh, cheap food is not always good, but if
Yeah.
you
That was
you
good.
know,
Yeah.
and so I think just eating right, man, understanding what works for your body. I think you got to learn your body. That's the best way I can say it. Be a realist about your body, your genetics, and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And so for me, those kind of things work, man. And like I'm a person who likes to eat the same thing all the time. I'm one of those people. So
Yeah.
so you could meal prep me ground turkey for the next 6 months. I won't think twice about it. 7 days a week, twice on Sundays. Like I won't think I won't think nothing about it. So for me, that actually helps though, man. It helps with me. And then I work out. So being in the gym like helps the endurance, it helps the stamina. If I do get tired and my hands, I can actually choke the sticks and use my arms because I got some strength in there from working out.
Right.
Um, so all of those things together helps my endurance, helps me. And then being in drum shape is a different kind of shape than basketball shape. It's a different kind of shape than,
Yeah.
like some of the other certain kind of shape you got to be in to perform certain activities, man.
So
Like,
real quick, tap in on that. What's the difference between being in drum shape and just being in shape? What's the difference?
so for some people, so when you play drums, you hold the stick at the fulcrum, and these three fingers usually are doing the majority of the work you see. And then some of it is arm because certain people striking hard. Like when you're playing the snare, you're choking the stick. So you start learning how to play gracefully, and then sometimes how to like dig in and play real hard.
Right.
Uh, so uh, I mean, that's how you could be in shape, but also I think being in drum shape is just about understanding the endurance of like this upper body. And actually you need your whole body. You need your legs to play the foot pedal, and so being in drum shape is hard to explain, but I mean, I know LeBron is working out, but if he get on the drum, they're gonna spank him a little bit. Because he doesn't
Yeah.
use his arms in that capacity. He's not doing this. He's doing this. So it's a different motion. So I think it would be the muscle memory.
Yeah.
That would be the shape of it, is the muscle memory. Because as long as he play a game, I can play drums that long. I can play that longer. He have to take rest. Like I've played a gig where I'm playing 4 hours straight.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that don't have nothing to do with my size. I mean, we've seen guys who are big guys that can play longer than skinny guys. So I don't think it has nothing to do with your size. It's about muscle memory and how strong you're building up like this part of your body right here, because that's where you're using like my arm looks weird because it's so big down here, but it's because it's from playing. So
Right.
that, and actually I learned that from a band teacher
Hmm.
back in the 6th grade. He was like, and that was his thing, man. He was a guy, and his arm wasn't that big, and the bottom of it looked like a rock. He was like, "That's 50 years of drums," and I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." But now that I see it, getting older, it's like I can get sloppy, but that one muscle down there at the
Yeah.
bottom, I mean, it's gonna stay intact as long as I'm playing drums. So I think drum shape is a muscle memory and just understanding how to finesse your situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think too, man. Just something I just thought about is like with drums, you also gotta push past being tired. You know what I'm saying? So that builds up endurance too. So like if you playing at a certain tempo, you know what I'm saying? You have to continue to play at that tempo to build up your endurance. Because if not, you'll be tired. So then when you on the road and you have to play for 4 hours, you know what I'm saying, straight on the gig, your endurance is built up. Your body is ready to take on that type of task because you've played at a certain tempo for so long. You've practiced and put in the time with your crowd at that tempo for so long. Now you able to play for 4 hours straight and not be tired.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
yeah, and especially when you get older, because when I was 18, man, I could shed for 9, 10 hours. The
Right.
older I got, your metabolism look a little different. So it does push you, when you do have to play long gigs. And it ain't all the time. I mean, hardly ever you're gonna play 4 hours straight unless you fall into a good old church service and
Zydeco.
yeah, oh, that thing get thick. Or like people who play in Vegas or cover band gig people, they could play forever. And sometimes them party gigs or those top 40 gigs can go. I've played some myself, and it's nothing to for them to be like, yeah, client asked for a 3 hour set, three
Yeah.
hours straight through, top to bottom. You'd be like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
And being the drummer, like you don't get the break, but a guitar player, he can chill on the verse.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, you be looking for a breakdown in a minute. You be like, no drums, cool. Shoo.
Yeah.
Let me take these 30 seconds to recoup real quick. But in all seriousness, man, it's like anything else. You work towards the endurance you want to have so that you can perform the way you want to perform. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because like some of the athletes say, they put $1 million into their body a year, where every athlete ain't doing that. So who's wanting to be able to go the extra 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, not just the extra mile. And not that everybody can afford it, but it's cats that can afford it that's still not doing it. So for the people who can afford it, you can tell who wants to go the extra mile because that's what they're pushing. They're seeking, to push that envelope. And
Right.
that's kind of how I would try to be, being able to function in an industry that is extremely competitive.
Right. Yeah, that made me think about, even having a gym membership, bro. That's part of it. You know what I'm saying? To work your muscles, you know what I'm saying? Because you got to use your whole body. Work your
Yeah.
muscles, man. Make sure you good. Make sure you tight. But one thing I did want to talk about was you mentioned like the different products that you take. So is it do you do separate products or is it a multivitamin or what?
They're all separate.
Okay.
They're all
Yeah.
separate.
And
That,
then as far as the meals, are you meal prepping or is it like, okay, well, I'm gonna find something to eat today? You know what I'm saying?
mm, I'm gonna find something to eat is in moderation. I'm definitely the person who, like, once he likes something, like I said, I eat it all the time. But most of the time, I'm trying to eat at home. Sometimes having a busy schedule, even at home, not touring. I thank God that I can get pretty busy with some of the stuff I have going on at home. So, trying to be intentional about my schedule, my planning, knowing what I have a day or two before, and saying, you know, I can eat healthy, or I can cook and eat that, for these next 2 days because I don't have to leave till a certain time, and I can be back in enough time to catch dinner. Or if not, then I'm going to Chipotle is my friend. I like Chipotle. So I mean, you can take a healthy approach to it. Just eat the protein. Try to be low on the carbs if you want to. Um, so that's kind of what I'll do, or go somewhere where I can get like a good chicken salad, something like that. But the places aren't a lot, and I'm not doing the McDonald's or nothing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
but I do like breakfast from Whataburger every now and then. So
Yeah, it's not a
it's in
bad idea.
moderation though. But I don't go too crazy on it because I just don't want to look slouchy.
Right. Yeah, that definitely plays a part, man. With us as musicians, we late gigs, fast food,
Hmm.
gonna hit you every time. It's gonna hit you, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
you're right.
time.
You're right.
And so, yeah, man, that's what's up, bro. Hey, I want to ask you this real quick. I ask everybody this, man. So, what advice you have for like the upcoming musicians, man? What's some advice you have for them?
Hmm. One thing I'll say, I've told everybody who asked me this question, for a person who believes in God, is a believer, Christian values, whatever have you. Um, I just asked God to bless my gift if I always gave 110%, and pay my tithes. And He's definitely did that. I'm not saying it hasn't been ups and downs, not saying that, you be looking like, all right, Lord, so, I'm doing my part. But stuff always come through, man. I've seen some pretty cool things happen in my life. I've been in some pretty cool places, man. I know I'm not the best social media person, so some people may not know half the things I've done or one thing I've done, but I like to keep it dear to my heart, so they're in my phone. But I've done a lot of cool things, and I think it's because the faith without works is dead, man. You got faith to do it, but like I gotta put in the work, and I can definitely appreciate my dad because he's such a militant power driver. And so when I was young, I used to be like, "Whew, lighten up, my guy." But now, and I be looking at him like every chance I can, I try to high five it, or I try to highlight how much of it he was, and it wasn't even equivalent to music. It was equivalent to like life and discipline in general, and we was able to use those disciplines in music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bro, I've never been late to a gig. I've never missed a flight. Um, and I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because that's the kind of stuff my dad instilled in us. I remember one time my brother called me to sub a gig, and the call time was like 9. He called me at like 8:15. He was like, "You already there, huh?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I already knew it." I don't like, and I always say this too. I said, if I know I got to be up at 6 a.m. the next morning, I don't go to bed being like, it's 1 a.m. I know I'm about to get some good sleep. No, it's 1 a.m. Hey, you ain't about to get that much sleep. All right, here, just be ready to wake up at 6. I already got my mind together before I go to bed. So my mind doesn't rest the way people trying to go to bed and get, a full night's sleep or rest.
Right.
And I thank God that I can function with little to no sleep. But on the days that I'm tired, I still got to tell myself what has to be done. And so that's the kind of disciplines that I'm using to, hopefully get me there. So I would tell any person like, hey, work hard, make connections. Now in social media, use it for good use. And what I mean by that is it's easy for people to think that you may be this if you only post these kind of videos. So post the all around, like post them being able to see you play a song with no chops, or being able to like fill up a section if need to, being able to have gear,
Right.
using all of the things, especially based on whatever gig. Now, if you're playing jazz, and you just want to be a straight ahead jazz player, then cool. Electronics is definitely not a thing you're ever thinking about. That's fine. But whatever you're trying to do, like seek out, man. I used to just watch videos. I watch interviews. I like information, and I like to get an understanding of what people are doing. And I'm real critical of myself. So if I don't sound like the standard or whatever standard is popular to get me to that place I want to be, then I'm like keeping to push those envelopes. So, the first formula plus the second formula is kind of what I would tell people, man. Work hard. I pay my tithes. I always give 110%. Even once I say yes to a gig, I'm giving 110%, whether I like it or not. And that's that first formula. You know what I'm saying? And that's the faith without works. And then the second formula is like learn your craft, push the envelope, Like figure out, make good connections, always be good on your word, always nail the music, always come to rehearsal, knowing and don't learn music at the rehearsal. Come to rehearsal looking like 1, 2, and they like, oh, you ready? Oh, well, you called me for the gig. What are you talking about? Am I ready? Oh, this is the bass player. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you listen to your music.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So those kind of things have literally, gotten me gigs. And like if you only want to do live, work live. If you want to do live in studio, then like understand like how the studio can be a little different from a live perspective. So like learn your craft and push the envelope in whatever way possible you have available to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Good stuff. Hey, last question.
Okay.
With tithes, you said pay your tithes.
Hmm.
Do you pay on every gig, or do you pay on, if you got a church, if you playing at church and you playing, say, a top 40 gig, are you touring? Do you pay on just a church, or do you pay on just a touring? What you pay your tithes on?
I pay it on everything because for me, like if I want to do more touring, I definitely want to tithe. I want God to see my faithfulness when we go back to the example, if I'm making 3,500 or whatever I said, 3,000 a week, I want him to see my faithfulness with that. I want him to see that now that I'm getting the big bucks, I can still pull that 300 when it's different when I'm making a $300 check and is paying 30. It's simple,
Right.
and whatever. Some people may pay more than 10% or whatever you do, but like I want to see that I want him to see that faithfulness. And it's a scripture that talks about um, paying your tithes to help rebuke the devourer. And sometimes
Ooh.
I need my health. I need all my limbs. So I don't need car wrecks. I don't need I don't need those kind of things happening for me who play drums. So my tithes is if I'm believing God, I'm believing that those two things are going to really help propel me outside of along with me working hard. So my working hard with him seeing my faithfulness and rebuking the devourer, then like we coming together. Like
Right.
you would coming in like it should be whatever it is. And I'll insert this. Success looks different. So some people only want to play locally and make a certain amount and do something else and do this. So
Right.
just push your envelope of what success looks like to you, man. And it's cool to be living in 2021 because now we see musicians are like 50 different things, and it's cool to be like a lot of different things, man. Because you got musicians who are forex traders and like they do it and tour. Then you got musicians who are producers, musicians who are engineers, musicians who do all of these things that aren't necessarily a corporate 9 to 5. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Some musicians are like physical trainers, and so they can do that and music, simultaneously at a high level. So, it's cool to live in a time like this because you see us pushing the envelope in more than one area. And of course, we have one area that has so many avenues.
Right.
So, it's cool, man. But that's kind of how I feel about the tithing, man, is that, oh, will you bless me with this $3,000 a week tour? Cool. Well, let me pay tithes, hoping for 4,500, hoping for 6 grand a week, hoping for 10 grand a week, you know,
Yeah.
because they're out there. Those gigs are out there. Let me definitely encourage anybody. Like I will not give business that I know, but I know of people who have made $10,000 a week playing on a tour for a high level artist. They're out there. Now it's a little harder. That was back in 90s when money was crazy, but I've heard the number. I've heard 6,500,
Yeah.
8,500, 9,000 a week. Man, those kind of gigs are out there. Few
Yeah.
far in between, maybe, depending on because I mean, there's not as many artists as there are musicians or people in the world. But like it's out there. And then there are consistent 2 grand a week if that's what you like. I mean, or whatever. And just find a way to make your niche work for you, and don't
Right.
be closed minded about it. I would say that. So
Yo. Yes, sir, man. Hey, you got to tell the people how to find your brand, man. I see you got your brand down, man.
oh,
K
okay.
Raw brand. How can they
Yeah.
find the K Raw brand, bro?
Yeah. So the Instagram is at DK Rob brand, TheKrob brand, BRAND. Got stuff on there, and I got a link to my website. The website is krobbrand.com. I have, hoodies, t-shirts, and pretty much um, it's a brand just kind of saying my motto is prayer built on. Uh, I'll say it to you like this. Um, and it's on here: inspired passion built on prayer, manifest royalty. And I have little bands, and I got them on there. So that's kind of the motto for it, man. I'm just trying to push positivity and just kind of create something a little past just music. And so started a brand, like got hats, hoodies, and stuff like that, man.
Yes, sir.
Just if you like it, buy it. If not, somebody will.
It's stupid. But bro, hey man, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate
Sure.
it, man. Shout out to you, bro, for always being such a man. People don't know, man, how close we are, bro. I talk to this dude, and about 5 days a week, man. Sometimes twice a day. This is mine, and we've grown to be really, really, really close, man. I really appreciate how upstanding and um, honorable you are as a man, as a father, as a musician, bro. You've definitely played gigs, and I've sent you on, and he's a great guy. Sounds great. And I'm like, cool, man. This is
Yeah.
so I know I can count on you to be a confidant, a person who gonna give it to, an accountability partner. I know we are definitely accountability partners. So man, I want to say it. I appreciate you on wax. I wanted to be said that you're appreciated, man, and shout out to your brand and all the things you're doing, man. All of the stuff that you have, this podcast you have. I'm excited to be a part, man. Excited to see what will continue to happen and how it'll grow for you, man. You already know I'm in your corner, so man, keep it pushing, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, man. Hey, just gotta keep pushing the envelope, brother.
keep pushing the envelope.
And praying. Pray to God, dog. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I told God in everything I do, I give him praise and glory for it, bro. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I just want to be the best version of who I am. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be nobody else, bro. Yeah, James Brown was the man, the Godfather. Hey, but I'm James Brown, bro, and I got a lot of different talents and gifts inside of me, man, that I want to die empty, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at.
Same here, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your day, man, and we'll talk later. You already
Yes,
know.
sir, man. Take care, bro.
All right, bro.
All
Peace.
right, peace.